All right, question for everyone out there this morning. Do you think politics should be kept out of the workplace altogether? Zero tolerance, or should there be exceptions? Let us know at 12news.com/bullhorn. We've talked about this one before, but it's back in the news because Goodyear, the American tire company, takes a stand with their employees about movements they can and cannot take sides on at work. This picture was taken by an employee at a training session. It shows that Goodyear is cracking down on and taking a zero-tolerance stance on support for MAGA attire, saying all lives matter and even saying blue lives matter. But at the same time, they're allowing employees to support Black Lives Matter and pride movements. Now, the picture was posted by an employee who said that they're cool if someone wears a Black Lives Matter shirt, but not if others won't be allowed to show their support for their causes and beliefs. Well, the president weighed in right away, calling for Americans to boycott Goodyear because they don't allow employees to show support for his Make America Great Again slogan. He says, don't buy Goodyear tires. They announced a ban on MAGA hats. Get better tires for less. So here we go. Politics in the workplace, even if you're not back in the workplace. What do you think about it? Addie says, yes, you are there to do a job, not to push agendas. Kristen says, yes, no questions asked. Politics are ridiculous and discussions can get very heated, which can cause additional tensions that are unnecessary in the workplace. A lot of people are agreeing right now. 93% of you at the bottom of your screen saying, yes, 12news.com/bullhorn is the place to go. Now that you know why we're talking about this subject, if you want to have your voice heard, go ahead and weigh in there. Rachel?